Okay, now we're gonna bake a cake. Gotta have a nice pudding. We're gonna bake the cake tonight in our little 1-quart pan. And what I'm gonna do is a little apple cake. This is a very simple recipe. You notice I just got 2 yolks, 2 eggs in there. What you wanna do is we wanna mix these up just to get some air in it, right? This is the main thing. We're gonna mix that up here. I've got to go in this recipe some flour, a little bit of sugar, and a little bit of cinnamon and a little bit of baking powder, rising agent in there, right? So we just want to do that. So real simple recipe. We got our baking powder, we got some sugar. You can use brown if you like it, a bit of flour. Nothing, real simple there. We're not going to put any oil into our batter today, but we are going to add a bit of moisture. And we're going to add that moisture to the food processor here. So you guys probably have heard of zucchini bread before. So we're going to put a bit of zucchini in there. You've probably heard of carrot cake. So just put a bit of carrot in there. Of course, how about a bit of apple? Just a bit of, because it is an apple cake, makes sense we put a bit of fresh apple in there. And that's it. So that's going to act as kind of keeping the cake moist in the baking process. And we're just gonna, let me just move my fork out of the way. Got my mixing bowl, and I'm just gonna mix all that in together, okay? Real simple, can be made out of the ingredients in your house. Nothing too spectacular. A couple eggs, bit of sugar, bit of flour, bit of baking agent, rising agent I should say. Put some vegetables in there, and that's it. So that's our cake batter. But what we wanna do is what we want to do today, though, is instead of greasing the tin that you hear a lot of people do when they do baking, what we're going to do instead is we're actually going to use a little old trick, okay? And for that trick, I'm just going to use a bit of an apple. This is our cone number 4, which is kind of our slicing. So I'm just going to slice that apple there. The other half of what I use to make the batter. Just going to put that in there. And that's all we have to do, right? So we just got some thin slices of that apple, okay? Now, what we want to do is we want to take that apple and we just want to put it, there's a seed in there, we don't have no seed. We're just going to put those apples around the edge, right? And we're also going to put some on the bottom. This means that you don't have to use any sort of baking paper or grease or anything like that. You just kind of use that natural apple that's there, because what that apple's going to do is it's going to be able to make it so we have the cake. So we just got that apple and just make sure everything's in there. Perfect. We're going to take our lovely batter we just made and we're going to pour that batter right on top. Now, by the way, you can follow any family recipes you have for cakes. This is not a particularly our family recipe. This is a recipe from our family in Spain. They use this cake all the time. Okay, let's take a look at the cake. It's been a while. Come on in. I just want to show you. It's been baking along, and look at that. Baked perfectly, ready to go. We're just going to let that cool, and then I'll be able to show you the finished product. Hey guys, Scott again. Wanted to share with you the beautiful apple cake that we've cooked for you guys. Just on a few ingredients in your cupboard, you're able to make this cake.